Hello everyone, today I'll be exploring the updates that I missed out on before the Nightmare Mode update releases. I would talk more, but you guys have an attention span worse than a fruit fly, so without further ado, let's get right into it, shall we? The combat drone update was one of the most, well to me, unexpected tower to be added to the game. Tower isn't just a flying tower. The combat drone is basically the Gatling gun from TDX if it could fly and deal hella damage. The combat drone, to what I know, is the tower with the highest DPS output of any tower without using supports. This single tower, to what I've seen and heard, can deal up to 30,000 DPS if the user uses it to its full potential. Now that might sound overpowered, cause it is. It does come at a cost, literally. This thing is so expensive even Mr. Beast is too broke to buy the upgrade paths. I'd say the earlier levels of the combat drone is good, but once you get the top path max, oh, you are going to rain hell on your enemies. The top path also has a cool shield ability that, just makes it I'm like the 1,000,000th person to reference Invincibles as title card. Anyways, what was I talking about? Alright, and the other path basically acts as the recon drone, but instead of revealing stealth enemies, it's like the airstrike power-up. At the second to max and max level, it has an ability where it will mark an enemy and make it slower. And that's all I know. Also, since the combat drone bottom path flies really high, almost no enemy can destroy the drone. And back then, bottom path max used to shoot a missile on its own, dealing 10,000 damage, as well as stunning, yes, you do not hear me wrong, stunning enemies for, I'm not too sure if this is accurate, but for 0.46 seconds. Alright, that's all about combat drone. Time for the lead mode rework was not as unexpected as the combat drone being added, and of course made its respective mode harder and also having way more crowds of enemies. The rework also added a total of 24 brand new enemies, as well as reusing some old enemies and enemies from events, and also adding my second favorite mini bosses in the game, the King and Queen. And man, they got a fire soundtrack. Elite mode also has a robotic dragon, which is the VX drone but worse, as well as a charger guy that will not get stunned no matter what, but it can get slowed down by the spotter ability with the combat drone. Now I definitely like the elite mode rework and everything it brought on. And how did they change the revived Plague Doctor? By making him bigger and adding one new attack, which is just the Calamity summon ability but worse. And when he heals, he gets a shield that makes it so the Plague Doctor takes only 50 damage no matter what. They did everything right but the final boss. Eradicator Mark II had a cool new redesign sound effects, animation, and attacks. And what does Plague Doctor get for his rework? One new attack, a shield thing when he heals, and he is bigger. Awesome. Anyways, hopefully the next update won't be a slight, just slight, disappointment as this update. Holy crap. I was not expecting for John to release this update. Thought it would take like an extra few months or years at most. But nope, the update came way sooner than I thought, and I'm already loving it. If you guys did not get it from the introduction to this update alone. Welp, enough of that. Let's get to the oldest event in this update, the Tower Battles Collab event. The Tower Battles Collab event was TDX's, to me, most jaw-dropping thing to happen in TDX history. John back then made videos of that game, and now said game agreed to collab in John's game, and the owner of Tower Battles also agreed to keep his game collab in TDX, which is awesome. Anyways, the game mode has two modes, one being normal and the other being nightmare mode. Normal mode will give you a preset loadout and also weaker and easier enemies, but in nightmare mode, yeah, they don't mess around. Heck, the background footage you see is nightmare mode, but besides that, the Void's army did get buffed a little with the resistances, and the Void himself in normal and nightmare got a huge buff. I mean, did you see what he did in the intro? Man destroyed a whole warship just like that! And to make it even more crazy, that was only on normal mode. I'll definitely make a Tower Battle solo nightmare mode, but on this map, but for now it's background footage, and that's all I can say about that. Next is the Awaken. The Awaken is a sub-faction of the Calamity, and they are a cult? Aliens? Demons? I don't really know. I won't be talking about lore or anything. If you want lore about the Calamity or just lore in general, go check out Rogue Ordinaries' channel. But besides that, the event has 4 chapters. Chapter 1 with the "Make way for thy holiness" guy. Chapter 2 with the engineer. Chapter 3 where we fight Eradicator Mark II again, but corrupted. And my god, he got a huge buff. And Chapter 4.
Will you not claim your place? It's beginning to look a lot like your strategy sucks!
Frosty's Invasion. This event has 2 chapters, and when the first chapter released, it was pretty easy. When I tried Nightmare mode for the first time, I won on my first try. To be fair, it was with 3 other people, but I don't care. Chapter 1 Nightmare was pretty fun mainly because it was a mix of challenging, the map being kinda small, having 2 paths, one being shorter than the other, and introducing Exo Santa again, but instead of one of them, there were 2 of them, and they both got cooked pretty easily. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. And also introducing a new boss, Ginger Dread, which was weird. Like, yeah, cool, a gingerbread man boss, but when he goes into rage mode, his torso explodes, revealing the endoskeleton inside, and the head also turns into a death beam. The laser having the damage of apex predators, but an attack similar to Eradicator Mark 1 combats. When he dies, he explodes, killing all nearby towers. Oh yeah, did I mention when he targets flying towers? They take 7 times the damage. Yeah, 7 times. I'm still speechless. And also, this is the first ever event with cutscenes, believe it or not. Which some people don't really care once they've seen it more than like 5 times. Overall, it was a strong introduction to the event, but if Chapter 1 was fun and kinda hard, Chapter 2 is a nightmare. The second chapter to this event is the hardest mode in the whole game. Yes, even on normal mode, it's still hard. And John back then wanted us to beat chapter 1 and 2 solo on a time limit to get an, alright, tower. Chapter 2 is a huge difficulty spike from chapter 1. If you know Ultra Kill, it's like beating the Earth Mover level. Then next thing is beating P-2 and Encore Stage 2 at the same time. By the way, I'm talking about the difficulty on Nightmare mode, both in Chapter 1 and 2. For being, again, to me, the hardest mode in the whole game. And how much gold do you think you get? No, go on, guess. If you thought it was like 8k gold or above, since this is harder than beating Tower Bell's Nightmare mode, you're wrong! They give you a total crazy reward of... Why? Just why? This chapter is so hard, I'm impressed on how I even beat it myself. Video about that coming out later. But starting off with your towers. The medic will be your bestest of friends in this mode. Cause if you don't have it, GG's, you got no chance. And this event makes you fight 1 mini-boss, shortly after 2 Ginger Dreads. Even on normal mode they send out 2 of them. Anyways, back to Nightmare mode. After that they send you a crud ton of predators and a snow apex predators. Huh? Then after you get a like 1 or 2 wave break, then it's let's move. Anyways, here's a quick tip if you wanna grind gold with this mode. Don't, cause it's too hard and annoying, and you have to be very good at microing stuff. Alright, I'm done talking about this whole event return update thing. Let's move on to the... this update is definitely for the new players of TDX, and just saying this quickly, it ain't bad alright. This update is for bridging the gap of flying towers, cause the gap was just way too big, mainly because the only flying tower back then was the attack helicopter. I think cryocopter is basically almost the same level, but I don't know and don't care to know which is better. They both can help each other there. Now, after that, the next flying tower is the combat drone. So the jet trooper definitely helps on giving newer players a chance for catching leaks without the need of placing new towers at the back. Now, for the upgrades. Top path is the main path of jet trooper and is the cheapest. Top path can also see stealth and ignore bullet resistant enemies. And his attacks will always be burst no matter what level or path. And bottom path costs a bit more than top, does more DPS, changes the damage type to explosive, and has an ability to make its bullets burn enemies. This path is both good in single target DPS and good with crowd controlling. In total, this update is alright, didn't add much to the game, just added a new beginner tower that is pretty good, and I don't mind that. After all, they were doing all that for the Nightmare update, right? And that's all to this video, is what I would have said, but the takeover thing happened and the next update I'm going to talk about is, well, what do you think, Nightmare mode? Let's move on to the takeover event, shall we? This event was kinda out of nowhere, but at the same time, I love it. The event has a TDS vibe to it, and I heard that TDS take on the takeover thing was pretty bad, but I'm talking about TDX right now, so who cares? Anyways, this event, just like any other event, has two modes, normal and nightmare. Normal mode is, well, normal mode, so it should be pretty easy, and it had to be easy because the game is in an official Roblox event thing where people are trying to get things quickly, so I get why they made the normal mode dirt easy. But nightmare mode, yeah, it's hard. Weirdly enough, both normal and nightmare mode have preset loadouts, which for nightmare mode is really weird. I think it's for getting the points thing for the takeover, but I don't know. In this event, they also give you a, not gonna lie, pretty good, maybe even OP tower, the Goo Gunner. She's a pretty good stunning tower and damage, and when she is at max level, she can even spawn in 3 slime minions with a total add up HP of 500. And for some reason, they made it so you have to win either normal or nightmare mode to get her, which is weird, but I'll let it slide, I guess. Well, enough of the Goo Gunner. Let's get right into the event itself. The event has a slimy type of theme to it, and on normal mode, they give you a pretty good amount of eco and threats. And let me say this real quick, if this mode was played on any other map, the difficulty would be very, very hard, even on normal mode. But good thing we are playing on this Polluted Wastelands 2 looking at map. And the enemies kinda act the same as the slime enemy from Tower Battles, aka when it dies it will split apart to smaller slime fillers. And the slime mini boss, Captain Slime, has to be my favorite mini boss in the game. Every time you defeat him, he ranks down until he literally becomes a cube the size of an ant. But even then, as a cube, man's pretty strong. 1k HP and like 10k shield HP. And how could I forget the goated boss of this whole event? Slime King is one of the most cartoony vibe bosses in the game, and I did not know this at the time, but the Slime King's design was based on or inspired by a fan-made mode for TB, Expert Mode. And no, I'm not talking about TDX's Expert Mode. And when he dies, he becomes the evil Slime King, and hot damn! And he gains a power boost. He is now able to jump, do the calamity type summon attack thing, and scream to the top of his lungs to debuff every tower's fire rate. And when he's about to die, his legs get eradicated and he becomes faster? I don't know how that works, but yeah. And after you kill him, a second health bar appears. Oh, it's gone. And in Nightmare mode, weirdly enough, again, they don't have the tower killing mechanic like most modes. I feel like they should have made the towers be able to die, but to give players doing the Takeover event thing a chance, maybe make the enemies deal like 50% damage, or make the towers take 50% less damage. And on Nightmare mode, they kinda throw in random bosses. Like at the mini boss wave, they of course let you fight the Captain Slime, but you also fight a corrupted Predator and a stealthened Plague Doctor? And at the last wave, you fight a Yellow King Slime, or Orange depending on who you ask, as well as a Revived Plague Doctor Plus. So you got two bosses that could do the Calamity Summon ability, and to be honest, I don't know how I even first tried with 3 random people. But oh well, lucky me. And now that's all to this video. Actually, thanks for watching till the end. Click or press the likes and subscribe button, and turn on the bell notification thing because I upload freaking 1 video every decade. And hope you all have a great rest of your day or night, and peace.